All right, it's showtime. So welcome everybody. I'm so excited that you are here with me tonight for my inaugural show on the Win-Win Women Network with my show name of Dr. Melissa, Medicine Woman. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Today, we're going to have a little bit of education, and then we're going to have some time for question and answer. So be sure to write down those questions so you can ask me towards the end, and I'll be able to answer all your questions. All right. So I have a presentation that I've prepared for you. So let me go and get that pulled up here. And just need to make it play. All right. So once again, like I said, welcome to Dr. Melissa, Medicine Woman, the inaugural show. Today, the question is your armor on? And you're wondering, what in the world is she talking about? Well, you're going to find out. So we're going to talk about armor tonight. Now, I do have a disclaimer because this is a medical, some medical things that I will talk about. So this show and all the content are for your educational purposes only, and they are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or psychological disorder. A specific physician-patient or specific pharmacist-patient relationship is necessary before any medical therapies are initiated. And be sure that you do consult your physician or your pharmacist or any other qualified healthcare provider with your questions about your medical conditions before starting or using dietary supplements, herbal remedies, exercise programs, or nutrition plans. What we're going to learn tonight, we're going to talk about your armor. And what that is, you will learn what is your immune system. Thought that this was perfect. We're right in the mix of fall, which is a time for cold and flu season. And so it's one of those things that I thought would be great for us to learn about the immune system. And you'll learn how to support your immune system. You will learn what supplements are best for your immune system. And so who am I and why am I qualified to talk to you? So I have over 26 years of experience as a pharmacist. I have a doctorate in pharmacy, and I specialize in both Eastern and Western medicine. And I have over 52,000 clinical hours under my belt and counting every day. I speak with hundreds of patients a week, thousands a month, helping them with their medications, helping them with their health. I'm often called the root cause doctor. My patients love to call me that because what I do is I get down to the root cause of the problem. I'm also called a deprescriber. And what that means is that I get rid of medications that are not necessary for you. This includes both prescription medications, over-the-counter medications, vitamins, supplements. If it's not beneficial for you, we get rid of it, and we get rid of it in a safe way because we don't want to do any harm. And so I am a concierge consultant pharmacist. I'm also a wife, an aunt, a daughter, a sister. I've been married for 20 years, and I live in colorful Colorado, and I love it. So what is your immune system? So your immune system is made up of cells, tissues, and organs. And it's a very complex system of those cells, tissues, and organs. These cells are located throughout your body. And what I mean is that there's different places that they are located, and we'll talk about some of the places. But when I say your armor is your immune system because it is the body's armor against harmful bacteria, viruses, and other things that you might come into contact with. So throughout your system, you have what's called lymph nodes. And these lymph nodes, what they do is they serve as filters for germs. They're located all throughout your body. You might notice you often have lymph nodes in your neck here. And when you have like a sore throat, your lymph nodes will swell. You also have lymph nodes under your arms, behind your knees, all different places throughout your body, because what they do is they collect those germs and they filter out. So it's like a big trash can that goes in and filters things in your body. And it does that because it has white blood cells in there that help filter out these bad germs that we don't want in there. Okay. And that part of your immune system is to help fight and attack those germs and get rid of them because we don't want them in our body. Now, you also have a lot of your immune system located in your gut, okay, which the new term, it's been around for a while, but we're starting to hear about the microbiome. And the microbiome is the gut. That's all that is. It's the gut and it's the germs and things that are in your gut. Now, there's good germs in your gut. You need those germs in there. And then sometimes you get some bad ones in there. So we want to get rid of the bad ones, okay? And the good bacteria in your gut can be thrown off by bad bacteria. And this can be as simple as something that upsets you that can cause stress to your system. And so it's very important to support your immune system so that it's able to be your armor and it's able to protect you. Because a healthy immune system does protect you from things like bacteria, antigens, viruses. And should these viruses or these germs find a way into your body, a healthy immune system is able to fight it off. And so you may have noticed that if people talk about their immune system, their immune function, somebody who's immunocompromised, so their armor, they don't have all their armor on. Their immune system is not working as well. And so when they don't have a healthy immune system, they often can be more susceptible to getting sick, to be getting colds and viruses and the flu. And so those are some of the things that can happen. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next slide. So there is two types of immunity. So your immune system is made up of natural immunity, or innate immunity is another word for that. Now, a natural immunity is things that protect you right against from those germs. And one of the biggest, the largest organ that is natural immunity is your skin. That's right, it's your skin, because that's a nice barrier that helps protect you against those bacteria and things, okay? Now, we also have what's called the adaptive immune system. Now, the adaptive immune system is made up of mostly B and T cells, which are two different types of cells that you have throughout your body. You have a number of different cells. These happen to be called B and T. And what happens is that these cells develop over time, especially after you've been exposed to something. So for an immunity to develop, you need to be exposed to the antigen, the allergen, the germ. And then what happens is your body sets up a barrier and it decides that the next time that you're exposed to that, it's going to fight harder to fight it off, because it doesn't want to allow that in there again. And so the adaptive immune system, it adapts to that germ and it says, hey, you're not welcome here anymore. And so it can do that. It can target very specific pathogens, antigens, germs. These are all kind of similar words that you come into contact with. So when you come into contact with something, and then like the cold virus, okay? So the cold virus, the common cold, when you come into contact with that virus and your immune system, what happens is the next time you come into contact with that exact same strain, so that's the key, it's gonna fight it off. Now, the common cold is actually made up of multiple different strains. So that's why you're not always able to fight it off. But if you have a good, healthy immune system, you have a better chance of fighting that cold off, okay? And then we're going to talk about some other things that can help support your immune system or boost your immune system. We'll talk about that. Now, I do want to talk about one other immunity, and this happens, it's called passive immunity. It's very short-lived, and it's when it's gained from another source. And the most common of passive immunity is when it's obtained from like the mom breastfeeding, and it passes to the infant through the breast milk. So the mom has the immunity, and then the infant is able to have that immunity because they've received it from the mom's milk. Okay. So how do we support our immune system? Well, supporting our immune system and boosting our immune system, there's really, people say, how do you boost your immune system? Well, there's really not a way to really boost your immune system, but you can support your immune system. And what it does is it requires the balance and harmony, okay? And we're going to talk about several things that affect how healthy you are, how healthy your armor is, how healthy your immune system is. And so requires balance and harmony. Good hygiene. Very simple. Good hygiene. Washing your hands, okay? Washing your hands after you use the restroom. Washing your hands before you prepare a meal. Washing your hands when you come back in the house from the store. Washing your hands often, frequently, and not touching your face. That's another key one. Washing your hands, and you need to be washing your hands with soap and water optimally. Now, if you can't get soap and water, then an alcohol-based hand sanitizer is beneficial. But what you want to do is when you wash your hands, you need to do it and put the soap on, get your hands wet, put the soap on, and you need to sit there and wash your hands back and forth for at least 20 seconds. That's the minimum. A little bit longer if you can. And then you go ahead and rinse your hands off. And then bathing, very common, bathing, okay? So one of the things that bathing can do is when we bathe ourselves on a daily basis, then what we're doing is we are getting rid of old skin cells, and we're able to allow our body to generate new. So we're getting rid of that old, we're getting rid of the grime, and bathing on a regular basis is very beneficial because it's good for your hygiene, just like washing your hair, washing your face. These are things that sometimes we take for granted, but if we make sure that we do them consistently, this can help support our immune system. Now, managing stress. And you're probably going, oh, stress again. Every one of us is under stress at some point or time in our life. Now, stress can come up in different ways. Stress can be because of a relationship. Oftentimes, families, friends, coworkers, they cause us stress. Not on purpose always, but they cause us stress. And what this does is this puts a strain on our immune system. So you need to find a way to manage your stress. And these are some of the great things you can do. Meditation. Take 3 minutes. If you don't know how to meditate, sit there, close your eyes, and just don't think about anything for a couple of minutes. You can also go through some guided meditations. Exercise. Exercise is great for your immune system. Exercise is great for a healthy you. Journaling. Journaling is very helpful to manage your stress. And you can write down your thoughts. You can write down what's troubling you. That way you can get it out. And that way it gets out of your head and it's not causing you any problems. There's also different types of mindfulness practices which are beneficial to help you manage your stress as well. Now let's talk about food consumption, because a healthy immune system, as I said earlier, a lot of your immune cells are in your gut, okay? And so eating a healthy, nutritious diet composed of fruits and vegetables and nuts, limited sugars, limit unhealthy fats is very helpful for you to have a good nutrition underneath of you. Regular nourishment is very helpful for a healthy immune system. Also, if you feel that you're not getting adequate nourishment with the food that you eat, with enough vitamins and minerals, then potentially you might need to be on a vitamin or mineral supplement. And we can talk about that later. Because as I said, I do have that Eastern and Western medicine, that pharmacy degree. So I know all about those vitamins. Now, one other thing that we can do to support our immune system is movement, regular movement. Now, regular movement can be basic walking, stretching, biking, jogging, even yoga. Great movement to help support your immune system. When you move, I don't like to use the E word very often. So when you move regularly, this is a core pillar in keeping your immune system healthy. It's also very beneficial. We talked a little bit on the previous slide of that it helps manage your stress, and it helps improve other functions in your body, like your cardiovascular health, because it can help lower your blood pressure. Movement can help keep you moving functionally so that you're able to do the things that you want to do and love to do. And it can help control your body weight, as well as a variety of other diseases. All right. So what else can we do to help support our immune system? Sleep. That's right. Sleep is essential. A good night's rest boosts your immune system, or supports it. Let's say that. It supports your immune system because what happens when you sleep is that your body goes through and it resets a lot of processes that happen during your sleep cycle. These things don't happen any other time except for when you go to sleep. So it's very important that you get enough sleep to have your immune system supported and to have a healthy, high functioning immune system. Now, minimum number of hours each night for an adult is 7 hours. Now, I know some people will claim that they can sleep on less. For a healthy immune system, you really need 7. Teenagers, they need between 8 and 10. And then your younger children and your infants, they're sleeping up to 14 hours a day. When they're sleeping, they are protecting their immune system, their processes. There's a lot of processes that are happening. They're growing. So lots can happen when you sleep. Hydration. That's right. Water. Water is good for you. If you're not drinking water, start drinking water. Ideally, you should be drinking half your body weight in ounces of water a day. So if you weigh 100 pounds, then you should drink 50 ounces of water a day. So each of you can do the math, but that's the minimum number of water that should be, and that's plain water. Now you can put lemon juice in it, or another lime juice, something, fruit, berries, that's good. You can't stand just the straight water, but this doesn't count what water goes in your coffee, or what water goes in your tea, or what water goes in other things. This is straight water, okay? So that's what you need to be drinking. If you're not drinking it, just start. That's one of the key steps. Get started, okay? Now, let's talk about some of those vitamins and minerals. Now, the vitamins and minerals, there's several of them, but these are the 4 we're going to talk about tonight that can really enhance or support your immune system. Vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and vitamin E. All right, so let's talk about vitamin C. Now, vitamin C is found in foods, and it's also can be supplemented. Now, adding vitamin C to your diet can be very easy. Vitamin C is found in things like chili peppers and oranges and your green leafy vegetables. Most green leafy vegetables like kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, they have a lot of vitamin C. Okay. Now, if you do need to do a supplement with vitamin C, then be sure that you supplement with a good quality supplement. It's very important because supplements are not regulated by the Food and Drug Administration. They can have all kinds of things in them. They may not even have what's on the bottle. So very important to do your research or talk to somebody like me who will do the research for you and find a good quality supplement that you're not throwing your money away, because we want to make sure that what you're taking is beneficial for you and you're not wasting dollars. All right. So the vitamin C, very, very key to help support your immune system. Now, I know that during the cold and flu season, we like to take extra vitamin C. Now, I would recommend for most people, depending upon what other things you're taking, because that's always a key, there's drug interactions with your other medications and with other supplements with these. So you've got to be cautious about that. But anywhere usually between 500 and 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C on a consistent basis. Now, if you do happen to catch the cold or the flu or one of those viruses, then boosting your vitamin C consumption up to 2,000 milligrams a day could be beneficial to help lessen the amount of time that you're feeling yucky. Okay. But what happens is that when you can also overdose on vitamins. Yes, you can overdose on vitamins. And if you're taking a lot of vitamin C, usually more than 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day, you could start having some bad side effects like nausea, diarrhea, heartburn, cramping. It could even cause kidney problems, gout, insomnia. So you don't want to take too much of anything, okay? And that's kind of key for all vitamins, supplements, medication. You don't want to have too much, just the right amount. So let's talk about vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is the sunshine vitamin, right? You go outside and you get vitamin D, and this helps to support your immune system. Now, just 20 minutes a day outside, you should be able to get enough vitamin D. But not all of us live in a sunny place all the time. So sometimes we need to get more vitamin D with our food or with supplements. Now, vitamin D that's in food, we always think that our milk has some vitamin D. Yes, it's fortified with vitamin D. The best place to get vitamin D is the flesh of fatty fish like trout or salmon, which of course you don't want to take too much of because it is a good healthy fat, but it's still a fatty thing. So you don't want to have too much. A little bit's good. Now, vitamin D is necessary for your immune system, and it's also necessary to help with the calcium absorption. And the vitamin D recommendation would be between 1,500 and 2,000 units a day, which is like 37.5 micrograms to 50 micrograms of vitamin D in a day. Now, of course, you've got to make sure that your levels are good. You want to get those checked out first. We can order labs because you don't want to overdose on vitamin D, because having too much vitamin D can be a problem again. It can cause some nausea. It can cause some vomiting. It can cause muscle pain and weakness. Some icky things. We just don't want you to have too much vitamin D. So let's talk about zinc. So when we talk about zinc, zinc is another supplement to help support your immune system, and it can be found in foods and you can supplement with it. Now, oysters, they contain the most amount of zinc. That's right, oysters. Sometimes you can get zinc in other things, nuts, beans, whole grains. A lot of things are fortified with zinc. Now, zinc, as a general rule, you want about 50 milligrams of elemental zinc. Now, making sure there's no other issues going on, healthy, then 50 milligrams of elemental zinc. Some things that can happen though, sometimes you don't absorb zinc. So if you have had a gastrointestinal surgery, or you have a digestive disorder, like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, or you have short bowel syndrome, things like that, you may not be absorbing the zinc. So we might need to talk about some alternatives. And of course, alcoholics don't absorb zinc very well. So they often have to have some different choices as well to keep their immune system healthy. All right. And keeping your immune system healthy is limiting the amount of alcohol that you consume and not smoking as well. So the last supplement that I want to talk about tonight is vitamin E. Now, vitamin E is great to help support your immune system, and it can be found in foods like nuts and seeds, vegetable oils, and then also when you take vitamin E supplement, like all supplements, make sure that you're getting good quality supplementation. Don't want you throwing your money away. You want to be taking what's in the bottle, okay? And I can tell you most of the time, what's on the shelf in the store, probably not a good idea. You're going to have to go to a health professional and have them order it for you. That's usually the most beneficial way to get the highest quality. Okay. Now, vitamin E, most of the time I'd recommend right around 400 international units. And that is to keep your immune system supported and healthy. Now, I want to talk a little bit about allergies. And I put this in here because allergies actually are created from your immune system. When you're exposed to something and it doesn't like your body, you can form an allergy to it. So it's your immune system that actually creates this allergic reaction. And what happens is when your immune system overreacts, okay? So it overreacts to things like we've heard of peanut allergies, shellfish allergies. Those are kind of the most common things as far as foods out there. Medication allergies, penicillin, that's one of the big ones. Sulfa, that's one of the big ones. And what happens is when you're given that food or that medication, your body develops an antibody towards it. And that's developed in your immune system. And then what happens is it releases the histamines into the bloodstream. And it says, hey, we don't like this anymore. We need to get rid of it. And so then the allergy is created. And then the next time you're exposed to that, you have that allergic reaction, which could range anywhere from sneezing, itchy throat, your throat could swell. That's really, really bad. We don't want that to happen. So we want to try and avoid those things, but just want you to be aware where allergies are created, part of your immune system. And I want to talk a little bit about respiratory infections because it is cold and flu season coming up in the fall. And so these respiratory infections, if without a healthy immune system, it makes it harder for you to fight off things like pneumonia, influenza, COVID-19. When you have a compromised immune system or non-healthy immune system, then it's hard for you to fight things off. And we also think that that's possibly because as you age, that your body's not producing as many of those T cells that are necessary to help support your immune system. And so there's fewer of those T cells in there to actually fight off the infection. So just a little education there. Now, malnutrition. I wanted to talk just a little bit because I did allude earlier to if you're not getting enough of your vitamins and micronutrients in what you're eating. Now, malnutrition is when you can't absorb the food or you're not eating enough. And if you have malnutrition, that could be a cause where you might need to definitely have some extra supplementation in order to really support your immune system, okay? All right, so you always heard this, wear a jacket, you're gonna catch a cold. Is this the myth or is it the truth? Well, let me tell you here. So what happens is that when it's cold outside, you wanna wear a jacket because it's cold. Not necessarily to help prevent a cold, and unless you're gonna be outside for a long time, that could be. But what happens is that when we're exposed to the moderate, just a brief short-term cold temperatures, it doesn't really increase our susceptibility of infection. What happens is why we say that winter is cold and flu season is that because people spend more time indoors generally in closer contact with each other, and they pass germs around. And influenza, well, it stays airborne a lot longer when the air is cold and humid. So that's why it's cold and flu season. Should you really bundle up? So should you wear a jacket? Yeah, I think you should if you're uncomfortable or you're going to be outside for a long time or you have the risk of hypothermia. But otherwise, in and out, probably not going to have you catch a cold. And so, what are your next steps to help support your immune system? So I have a program I wanted to talk briefly about here. It is the Whole Body Health Program. And the Whole Body Health Program incorporates the things that we talked about to help support your immune system, to help you stay healthy throughout your whole body. It incorporates mind, body, spirit in keeping your whole body health. Okay, so that's something you can find it on my website at drmelissabalizan.com/WBH. All right, so let me stop my share. Okay, so I want to, now I'm going to go ahead and open it up for questions and answers. So give me just a second here to reset. Okay, I lost my window. Bear with me here, my apologies. Okay. Steve, I think I'm gonna need your help.